COVID, KCCA COVID Response Hub, which was developed in the wake of the COVID pandemic. I hope we are all able to see the screen. Are we? Hello, Laban,
yes,
can you see the screen?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so after launching the site, this is how it looks like. It's hosted in Esri, though the people that interface with it may not realize that it's in Esri, but it's a very good platform to show off your information. So my duty here is to give you a tour through what we've done as KCCA with our Hub application. So first, you have to realize that a site is as good as the data in it. So you have to be aware that the data you are going to put needs some cleaning, needs to be thematic. You need to work with your teams that are responsible for the brand of the organization to make sure that you give out the right information. So for our case, we worked with our PC team, that's the public, I've forgotten that team that's responsible for our corporate pictures. So that's the public corporate affairs team. So we have this as our interface. It's basically the response hub. So we talk about the cases, the statistics of the country. And within here, what Laban did tell you is you are able to add links to other sites. For example, whereas we communicate COVID as one of the responders, as with KCCA being one of the responders, there's an authority that is the custodian of COVID-related data. So we are able to put their links, their sites that can enable you to go straight to their sites. So when you click such links, you're able to get to the other homes of COVID response, okay? And they are just embedded within the application. So these cases are basically derived from the data that I talked about that you work on in the background through your ArcGIS. And that's quite a process, but when you are able to link it up at the end of the day. So you're also able to embed in other applications. This is quite a number of applications. So this is our dashboard. And the one that is developed for basically a mobile version. This is to help people with mobile phones view the same application easily. But for those that are using desktops, they can have a better query. So you can widen this up using this, and you will get, a bigger window where you can see all these applications. So I'll just basically focus on one application. Maybe let me focus on this, where you are able to see the various windows and various displays. For example, this is an active site. So this is actually what is in the country. And we have this much a number of confirmed cases and recovered and actives. So it's pretty informative. And you can go ahead and blow out these various displays, and you're able to even match up the data and then decide maybe I want to visualize maybe only ArcGIS data. And so you can visualize better the trends of whatever is happening. You are able to deactivate some still within the site, and you can be able to compare maybe how the variation of deaths is against the cases or the deaths alone. So the app actually apps you embed give a very good interactive display for the data. You can for this you can also be able to monitor which districts are weighing more, or which districts have more cases. Of course, the deaths have more weight. So Kampala having more deaths, then it becomes the first. But the whole idea here is you are able to do multiple things. Then one other thing is you are able to bring in external work. For this case, we have For example, the map of Uganda with detail from various districts, but then you're also able to bring in information from the other dashboards or other COVID or related applications. So in this case, we're able to bring in the John Hopkins dashboard where you can monitor the global cases, whether by map, whether on world scale. So you can bring in anything that you prefer for your audience. The most important thing is to make sure that your work is thematic. It's talking about the same thing. And of course, there are a series of other applications that you can always embed. We can't wait for them to load, but there are institutional locations, ambulance coverage, and just the city dashboard to monitor what's going on basically within the city. So all this is embedded, and like Laban said, you can invite people to partially attend to this, or you can serve your community with generic information or with themed information to a particular cause by developing a site for that very cause. And within it, you're able to embed surveys. For our site, we're able to add a survey that is basically anchored in survey 1 to 3 for assessing vulnerability. And then we're also able to embed still external links to do a self-assessment, a self-test of COVID. And of course, we did a vulnerability assessment or study. So as you take the survey, the detail is linked up here and indexed. So at the end of the day, you're able to rank which places are going to give you, which places are more susceptible, which places have a high adaptive capacity. But all this information can just be brought into one place and used. So for us, we are able to bring together this information in one hub. And then we have steps you have to take to avoid COVID. We can bring in pictorials. So you can bring in pictorials within your hub. You can create workflows, take steps, you can embed that within your hub. And then you can embed social media. So now what happens here is, since the hub is themed, you can embed social media context. For example, the primary responder is Ministry of Health. So every time they post, people don't have to go to their sites, but they can get the authentic sites here, whether it's World Health Organization, whether it's Ministry of Health or KCCA. KCCA is the secondary responder to COVID in Uganda. So you can also have a YouTube linked to this hub. So the hub takes in quite a lot of information. You can get global perspectives as well, attend to frequently answered questions, and then you can have your address. But I want to quickly take you to what Laban said about editing. Yes, you are able to edit. Once you're logged in, you are able to do a quick edit of your data. That will show up shortly. Okay, so if you like coding and changing displays, you can go into this. But if you are also just interested in theming your work, you can as well use this. And when you click the edit button and hover, you can always get this information. So when you type it and save, that would happen. Unfortunately, we can't save on this site because it's an active site and it's being used. So we can't really save on it. So we can just reload and skip that. But the site is consequently embedded into other sites, just like it can be, just like you are able to embed other sites into it, you can embed it into other sites. For example, the Kampala Capital City Authority website hosts it as its main, as its frontage. So members are able to access the hub by just clicking here, and they'll still be able to go into the hub. Just a minute for it to load. So it's the same hub. And also the national response hosts the same information, so you can always catch the same board. So it can always be the hub you develop can be always embedded into other sites, so it becomes very usable. And also on social media, you're going to find that even the KCCA site still hosts the hub as its frontage. So this still guides that the information you're going to put in has to be highly authentic in the various hubs you're dealing with, depending on how you're theming them, for them to be usable by other players, okay, other players in the industry. So unless otherwise, that's basically it. You can title it, you can give it a key, and then you can as well access Instagram, or if it's, for example, this is KCCA, so you can access KCCA, Instagrams, Facebook, and Twitter still from within the same hub. And so that's basically what it does. It's just one, like Laban was guiding. So you can able to tell that you're working with one page, and so that's basically what it does. Thank you, Laban.